Hello, friends, benders and non-benders alike. Welcome to Braving the Elements, Nickelodeon's podcast about all things Avatarverse. I'm Janet Varney.
And I'm Dante Bosco. And Varney, I'm feeling very Fire Nation today.
Yeah.
Super Fire Nation.
Because we could admit that you are always feeling very
I mean,
Fire
I am,
Nation.
and but extra
But
today because I
this
feel
one,
like I might
yeah.
be talking about some
Yep.
real OG Fire
yeah.
Nation stuff today.
Oh, yes, indeed. It makes perfect sense that you would be feeling that. But I was going to say, when you were watching it, did you feel like a little bit less Fire Nation? And then ramp way up to way more Fire Nation, considering what brings
Why are you
us
bringing in the
to-
beginning of the episode in?
Sorry.
I'm talking about the end of the episode where all the big stuff, crazy stuff happens. You talking about little things that happen for just a moment?
You're right. It's not even worth talking about.
It's not even worth talking about.
We do have to talk about it, and
We're
we
gonna
absolutely
talk
will talk
about it.
about it, but it's not worth talking about.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's a huge episode, right? This is a huge
it's
episode,
a
not just
fan
for
favorite.
us, but there
It's a
you go.
big time fan favorite, and it's very cool because we talk about the origins of the Firebenders, and beyond that, it's a great moment with Zuko.
Please call him Zook. I'm so into you calling
Good
him
old
Zook.
Zuko and Aang as they're beginning their,
Yeah,
their buddy.
they're bromance.
And speaking of Aang,
Speaking of Aang, guess what? We were not going to do this episode without and only with everyone welcoming back to our show our wonderful and talented friend, Zach Tyler Isaac.
Zach, what's up?
Hello. Hey guys, how you doing? Good to see ya.
Good to see you. Welcome back.
Good to see you. Welcome
Thank
to our
you very
studio.
much.
We're in
almost.
studio.
It's beautiful.
I know. We wish you were here in person next
You're
time.
still in New
Same.
York. You're still
It's cold.
It's cold.
Yeah.
In those air nomad areas, it's very cold usually. It's too high. It's cold. It's hard to firebend up there.
This is very interesting because Foreshadow Report, I don't know how you guys are going to do the dragon dance together if you're in two different places, but I was really banking
tough.
on that. I was
The
like
time zone thing
hoping
throws off.
strongly
I
that would
really
be happening today.
was watching the dragon dance going, I need to learn that. Zach, we really need to learn this dragon
I
dance
know.
situation.
This
It's
answers
come
a
up,
question.
too.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you guys that because I think I've created a false memory where in my mind I was like, I think those two have done the dragon
No, we
dance
did
together.
the picture.
Yeah,
We've done
100%.
the picture of the
Okay.
end. Of the end.
There it is.
But
That's why.
the actual dances, I'm watching it, I'm like, I got this.
I've definitely had people like come up to me at cons and do it and like try to get me to do it, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm just making a complete fool out of myself.
Well,
But I
that's
think
beside
if
the
we-
point. Always making a fool of ourselves.
Whether you're doing it perfectly or not,
Fair.
there's a chance
I have
that
been
might be true.
firebending in random spaces with fans. And I have no fire, but we're going to firebend. I'm like, please make this look cooler if you post this online.
Yes.
You're probably not even firebending,
fire.
honestly. You're
I
probably
am doing
like
some kind of
something-
firebending.
some sort of bending, some sort of
Please,
bending.
for the love of everything, just put fire coming out of my fists or feet or something.
Yeah.
We
exactly.
should actually like get down and learn it, and I
Yeah.
think like we could make a whole thing of it.
I think it's like 8
I'm
moves.
so
I think it's
into
8
this.
moves.
I'm
not
so
that
into
bad.
this.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
I completely and totally believe in you guys. I hope I'm there. I hope it's
Thank
the
you.
three of us there together.
The dancing dragon.
you could be one of
Yeah.
the dragons.
I'll be one of the dragons. God, that'd be so cool.
The dragons are
Those
cool.
dragons are so cool.
You could just like run around us, like really
I
fast.
will.
I mean, you guys literally
Trailing ribbons.
I'm watching this kid prepare for the episode, and as you know, I have not seen all these episodes in order. I mean, I have seen parts of this. I mean, whatever. Anyhow, I was impacted by this show. Watching,
Yeah.
I was like, I understand.
But that's
Wait a
that's
minute.
what
I know. I understood. I did.
you
I also
connected.
understood
You
in the moment.
also
You're giving it away, man.
understood.
I know, but I did understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are a couple of lines in this one that I especially love that, you just gotta give it up. Gotta give it up to the
Yeah,
show for
so
being
great.
so beautiful. And yeah, those kind of moments where you're like, the show is really good at, it's not necessarily like, there are definitely plenty of lines where you're like, oh, that I've never thought about that before until this moment.
Right.
But it's also really good at putting things that your heart already knows into a new context or and putting it in a slightly different way where you're like, oh, that's the best version of that advice I've ever heard. Like
Yeah.
I've heard a version
Absolutely.
of that, but this is like
Totally.
now the new standard kind of thing,
Totally. And another thing I thought when I was watching this episode is like when we did, you say the lines and they could say anything. Dragons flying around. I don't even remember what it said. I just,
I think we're all glad that the line wasn't dragons are flying around.
I mean, you can do whatever, and then you don't know what they're going to animate
Yeah.
And then you watch it
Sure.
and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yes.
whoa, this is
That was such a cool part.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Oh.
You're
Yeah.
like, I had no clue they were gonna
Yeah.
do that.
Getting the ADR DVD in the mail where it was like mostly animated, and you're like, okay, now I
Yes. Now I understand.
Now
see. It helps. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Well, I was wondering that too because I wasn't thinking about this until now. So when I was watching it, I wasn't thinking about it. But the dragon dance and what's happening with the color and all that kind of stuff. Foreshadow report 2 a few minutes from now. That doesn't have a lot of like sound like fire effects or
Nothing.
you guys having to grunt. Like
No.
in other words, that doesn't seem like it would be something that you would necessarily see
No idea.
until the end product. You
You're
wouldn't
like,
see it in ADR,
I
right?
said
You
I
can only
understand.
explain it so well. It's all about
Yeah.
the vision. That was such like a visual scene, but
I'm like,
I'm
what do I
getting
understand?
ahead.
Oh, it's so good.
I was in the studio. I did say I understand. I heard that. I was like, what were you saying, Dante? What were you understanding when you said that line? And the answer is nothing.
I was
And now,
understanding
20 years later.
words.
20. It took me
Words
20
on
years to
paper.
understand what I needed to understand.
It's a journey. It's a journey.
It is a journey.
It is a process. It's a
That's what we're all
journey.
here to do. It's what we're all here to do. Nothing to be ashamed of. Am I going to give you crap about it forever? Of course I am. But that's just friendship.
Me and Zach might have talked about this before, and we were talking about a little bit. It's like when you going back watching this show now for this podcast is like going back in time in your life and
Yeah.
seeing how cool you were as a teenager or something
Yeah.
like that, which is great because you're like, damn, we were so cool. This is amazing, and it's almost cooler now to go back and appreciate it now.
Yeah.
Because if you knew how cool you were as a teenager, you were probably a jerk.
Correct.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
You're-
I'm too, like you know,
Yeah.
you're too.
You would be
you're-
insufferable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's better to go back now and just appreciate what we did and go, wow, look how
Yeah.
dope that was.
Yeah.
Because I think
It
when
is
we
very
did it,
cool.
I don't think and there's one where like we're so amazing. I don't think me and
Yeah.
Jack May were ever like look
Yeah.
how
Thank
awesome
goodness.
we are.
Thank goodness.
Dante, I know you. You were saying that for sure.
Uh,
You were going, I'm so amazing.
No, I was like, what do I have to say this week?
I understand.
I understand. What, Dante? I don't know. What's that craft service? I understand. I need some water. I understand. Do we have apple slices?
Exactly.
Are they
Exactly.
cooking anything over
Yeah.
there? That's what I understand.
Great. But now, deeper and
But
better.
now,
Yeah.
I do understand.
Remind us kind of where we were leading
Last
into
week
this.
on Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Previously on.
was the Western Air Temple, an amazing episode where a lot of Zuko lines that I write come from, and of course, it's a huge episode in Zuko's arc since he presents himself to the Team Avatar with just cause. Although Team Avatar has some issues about letting good old
Yeah.
Zuko join the gang.
Hard to blame them. Hard to blame
I,
them.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
easy on my guy. And also, let's not forget that Buster comes in.
Good old Buster, Combustion Man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But we really never know his name because they say
Nope.
Combustion Man, and Zuko says that's not his name.
Yeah.
And they're like,
And
what,
then-
is, what is his name?
yeah.
Arthur.
My friends call me Sparky Boom Man.
Sparky was like,
Yeah.
He's like, my name is Arthur.
I feel seen right now.
We need a Combustion Man spin-off series. I would
Yeah.
What was crazy about last week, we cannot forget, is the boomerang that Sokka
Yeah.
nailed, right? Boom, right? I don't know what your favorite pitcher is, but that's who
Yeah.
he was, and he got him out in the ninth, and ended up Sparky Boom Man blew himself up.
He did.
He's self-combustion.
He really did. He blew
Spontaneous
himself up.
combustion.
Yeah. He blew himself
that
up.
moment, possible candidate for of the series most valuable non-bending moment, I think.
All right, but
Yes,
we actually
thank
made it
you.
a bending moment because because the boomerang, he ended up bending air. Even though he's not an airbender, he bent.
He bent around a corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
That-
maybe
I like that.
Maybe Aang helped him out a little bit.
Oh.
Conspiracy alert.
Controversial.
Controversial. Maybe
Sokka
Aang
can't even throw his own
he wouldn't-
boomerang
Aang
without a
would
little
never-
help from the
Wow.
airbender.
I mean, it was so precise.
harsh words.
So precise.
I don't know.
So precise.
You've just cracked open a
possibility?
huge potential problem.
Possibility.
We had Tim here. We could have asked him that, and I guarantee you,
Dang,
you know what he would have
Tim.
said? No, it
So-
was the boomerang. He's
course
great.
not.
It's Sokka.
But you can't
Aang
throw
was
a
right
Now
boomerang
there.
it's
without
out
Aang.
there.
Look, if you throw anything next to a airbender and they're your friend,
To give it a little.
Darts?
little alley oop.
Darts all day
Little
long.
boost.
Darts?
Yeah.
I'm nonstop
Oh,
bullseye
yeah.
guy. Darts, no look.
Non-
3-pointers?
Nonstop bullseye guy, by the way. Definitely a name Sokka would come up with for someone. Sparky Sparky Boom Bam, hockey,
Nonstop bullseye.
and nonstop bullseye guy.
I'd like to think that as they got older later, they were running some sort of like hustling ring in bars. And,
You know Top's
Sing
all
Say.
about it.
We've seen
You
so
know
much
Top
hustling.
is all about hustling. The hustle.
100%.
Aang was all about it
hustling.
too. Aang was all
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, he helped along with the little shell game there.
Yeah.
We know he's not above it. So we know where this episode's going, but Zach, lay the groundwork for us. Lay the
Okay,
groundwork.
let's do it. So yeah, this episode is all about Zuko trying to teach Aang firebending. I feel like that was a long time coming, and here we are finally.
Yes.
That was news to me. I didn't know that was gonna happen
Really?
till maybe last episode.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't.
When
know.
you were recording,
I'm
it,
not
you mean.
foreshadowing things in my mind.
Yeah.
It's like it never occurred to me that I was gonna do that till the last episode. Whatever.
Madam
Sure,
Wu
okay.
probably knew.
I'm
But
in
go
the
ahead.
moment. I'm in.
Gotta
the moment.
give the people what they want. I think this was like,
Yes.
okay, he's on Team Avatar. Let's
Agreed.
go. We're kind of running out of time here.
Agree.
But the problem is that Zuko all of a sudden realizes that he can't really firebend. I've lost my mojo kind of thing going on.
yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing for.
It's pretty bad.
A lot
It's
of
pretty
guys
bad.
when
Yeah.
you find that.
Yeah.
You just got to find out
Really?
where the mojo is coming from. That's all.
We all go through moments of like, I thought, what happened to my thing?
Yeah.
Just as you get older, man.
It's
you know,
alarming.
things-
I'm
Yeah,
surprised
mhm.
he took it so well, even though he was
Yeah.
frustrated about it. I mean,
He was in shock. I'm going to go ahead and say he was in shock.
He was in shock,
It was
but-
so shocking to Zuko that he couldn't even process it emotionally.
No.
So he was just kind of trying to deal with it intellectually and solve it.
right. But I
Right.
think I could have got way more
Upset.
frantically
Yeah.
upset about
Yeah. I agree.
you can't.
That's a whole
He kept
separate
it together.
episode you could have done
Well, I
off
mean,
of
yeah.
just
What?
that.
Yeah. A lot of
Zuko
soul
loses it.
searching.
I am the Prince
A
of
lot of
Fire.
asking that Badger Frog. Why? Why Badger Frog?
What the heck?
Yeah. Agree.
So yeah, this whole loss of the mojo forces them, Aang and Zuko, to go on this journey to the ruins of the Sun Warriors, an ancient civilization, to see if they can gain any insight into the origins of firebending. But they end up discovering a whole lot more than just ruins. We find out some stuff about the OG firebenders, what happened to them, what's going on, and it's just a really beautiful and honestly iconic episode.
Yeah.
Written by the amazing John O'Brien, and of course, our favorite Giancarlo Volpe directed it.
Yep.
Shout to Giancarlo.
Giancarlo.
Always.
Oh, yeah. Agree with all this. Let's get into it. So, to your point, even before we find out what we find out about what Zuko's going through in this episode, if you start this episode as a viewer feeling a little worried about Aang and his firebending training with this new teacher, given everything that has led us to this point, you are definitely not alone, because this episode opens with what seems to be his first lesson with Zuko. We find out very quickly that Zuko's still getting his footing as a teacher, so, we could at
Yeah.
first kind of forgive the fact that just even his approach, just even his basic communication might be a little wanting, might be making things a little bit worse. Zuko tasks Aang with showing him what Aang has already learned about firebending, which appears to be this just really teeny cute puff of smoke, but no problem, right? Zuko's going to show him how it's done.
Can't start a fire without a spark.
That's right.
Can't start
And in
a
some
fire
case-
without a spark.
Can't start a fire because only a spark. Not as catchy, but in this
Can we do like a
case,
Bruce
true.
instead of Bruce? We got Zuko.
Yes.
Can't start a fire. What's wrong with me? Yeah. So this is a problem. We don't know what's going on. We've never seen this happen before. We know Zuko's amazing. He's not right now.
I was good. I was like,
Yeah.
he was just saying how good he was too.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
I
When
know.
you said like, I'm so good at this
I
thing,
know.
and then you do it, and you're like, oh my,
I know.
I'm better than this.
I agree. And I'll tell you what, this is a situation where, look, I know he didn't have much of a choice, but he doesn't try to hide it very long, and he doesn't ask Aang to like not tell anyone. Like when this happens, he very quickly is like, well, I guess I better complain about this.
No.
You know, he does. He has to tell the whole team that he has, as he puts it, lost his stuff.
Can I say Katara was a little harsh?
She's
Can I say
Yeah.
she
in
was
a dark
little
place
harsh?
about all
A
this.
little bit.
Like,
She's
really,
in a dark place about
Qatar?
all this.
You're gonna come at me that
Yeah,
hard
not a
right
lot
now?
of sympathy. Not a lot of sympathy.
Like,
In
that's
fact,
a little harsh.
May Whitman, the most delightful person, pulls out the perfect mean girl laugh. It's that joyless, like
Yeah, it was good.
angry, snobby laugh that is
wild.
only happening not for her enjoyment, but to shame the person that she is
Totally.
laughing at.
Listen, everybody. I've got some pretty bad news. I've lost my stuff.
Don't look at me. I didn't touch your stuff.
I'm talking about my firebending. It's gone.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at the irony.
I do think she's in low-key enjoying it after all that's happened.
But in that,
this is like
you
bringing her
know,
some joy.
Exactly.
No, I know what you're
the
saying. of
last
course.
Like,
episode,
yeah.
if you don't remember, she said that she would kill me.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm
She
gonna
did.
off you if you
She
mess
was like,
up.
listen, no big deal, but I'll kill
And
you.
this is low-key worse, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's definitely not
You'll-
great. And you know, he's so she makes him feel worse. This is not helping. And he's thinking about it. He's wondering if maybe the fact that his power is decreased like has something to do with him joining his allies. Like,
He got
am
to
I
it
just
quick.
better
He
if
got
I'm
to it
bad?
quick.
Why am I so bad at being good?
Why-
I can't
yeah.
even firebend when I'm being
know.
good. Could be. And Aang actually thinks that he might be onto something.
Maybe your firebending comes from rage, and you just don't have enough anger to fuel it the way you used to.
So, all we need to do is make Zuko angry. Easy enough.
Okay, cut it out!
You know, Zuko doesn't want to be ruled by rage. And Toph tells him, hey, you're going to need to find a different kind of, like a different source for your firebending. And she sort of calls up her experience with earthbending and how she learned from the original source. When we talk about sources,
Yeah.
nothing more original than those badger moles.
Great. That's
And
right.
we get to see this flashback of little Toph.
Great.
Yay! Meeting those big guys.
I'm
which is
always
very
surprised
cool.
how big badger moles are, aren't
They're
you?
big. Yeah, because
They're
they
huge.
Because neither badgers nor moles
Are that big?
This reminds us there is an original source for earthbending.
Right. And then that triggers Aang to recall his original airbenders, which are bisons. They happen to have a sky bison right around the corner, which is great. Shout out
Very
to Appa.
convenient.
Very convenient. And then what's the original source for firebending? And according to Zuko, it was dragons. But like in our world, those dragons are extinct. Right? Just like our world.
Just like wait, hold on. I accepted that whole cloth immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, yes,
Right.
that checks out.
I didn't bat an eyelash.
Of course, I've
Yeah,
seen
I was-
Dragon Bones, so I know this is
Yeah,
true.
they used to be here. They're no longer here.
Got it?
But the next best thing is to visit the ruins of the Sun Warriors, which were an ancient culture, which were the first culture to learn from the dragons how to firebend. But they've also been extinct for a very long time.
Yeah.
But he said, hey, this could work, and they're not too far from where we are now. And Aang learns of the monks. Sometimes, he says, sometimes the shadows of the past can be felt by the present.
Love that.
Great line, honestly.
I would say always the shadows of the past can be felt
Aang-
or should
Aang
be
said
felt
that?
by the present.
Aang's dropping
I
knowledge
think
now?
I think he was
Knowledge
taught
bombs.
that. Maybe
for
maybe
sure.
Gyatso.
The monks, for
Yeah,
sure.
the
That
monks.
wasn't an Aang original, but
It's not
like,
it's not an
Aang's dropping
original.
knowledge. Aang's
But I
doing
do want to
this on fire,
say,
though.
that this episode also has the line, "The past can be a great teacher," which is another iconic Aang line. But in my opinion, the shadows of the past can be felt by the future is like a 10 times better version
Yeah.
to say the same thing.
It's beautiful.
Personally.
It's so true.
Maybe we can learn something by poking around their ruins.
It's like the monks used to tell me. Sometimes the shadows of the past can be felt by the present.
Anyway, they reach the ruins of the Sun Warriors, and this may look familiar to you because they definitely were inspired for this design. It was like Mayan
ruins.
right?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was
I
cool.
like- and those Mayans, I don't know, it made perfect sense.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a perfect comparison.
And they're familiar to Zuko also, but for a different reason. He says he can see the ruins inspire the temples of present-day Fire Nation sages. So,
Also cool.
so maybe this was a good idea by Zuko to come and visit this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Toph's idea. I got to give that credit to Toph.
No, you're right.
I mean,
Right?
it was Toph was her original idea, but then Zuko said, "I know these."
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know a place.
It's
I
kind
know
of
a
like
place.
on a road trip, and it was like one of those things off the side of the road.
Yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, I passed by this one thing that
Yeah.
was like
World's giant
ball of
string.
right
In this
next
case,
to the
Yeah.
old school firebenders that are all
right.
dead."
One could say that we would put the
Ancient
the
fire
ancient
village.
ruins.
Ancient-
This is a big development for us too. Like this
I
is the first
know.
time we're hearing about
hasn't
this.
come up
We
at
don't know
all.
about this
Yeah.
ancient culture.
I would think, fire. We're very proud as fire.
Yeah.
bending people.
Yeah.
This should be a bigger.
The Sun Warriors. Give me
This
a
should
break.
be a
What a
bigger
beautiful name.
scenic attraction.
Yeah.
Like this should.
This is also
Yeah,
This
it
should be a
shouldn't be an
Disneyland.
afterthought. It shouldn't be like, oh, now that I need something,
No, it should also
let's
have
go
a lot,
check it out.
We can create a business here for people to visit
stop,
and get
just go ahead,
tickets.
stop
and
right there.
Like-
Don't
Always
turn this
cooking,
into a
man.
racket.
the capitalist over
But you
here.
know what I'm saying? Like there's commerce here. This is like.
Foreshadow report. I think it's probably for the best that you
Yeah.
don't turn it into a
is true.
tourist destination
It could be
or
tourist,
trap.
but tourist.
Yeah.
a tourist trap.
No, I'm not.
Dante's
I'm
trying
not
to
accepting that.
gentrify the Sun Warriors.
This is not
I
good.
mean,
That's not good. He sees an
as
opportunity. I
Fire
get it.
Lord, we need to get more revenue for
Yeah.
our
No.
pockets.
for your war machine.
Moving on.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Moving on. Wait, and also so there's a number of reasons why it might not be as good of an idea or might not appear to be because there are booby traps.
I know, but we don't know that yet.
We're about to.
Well, we do find out
Zach,
pretty quick.
Help us. Help
right?
us. Help us find
We
out.
find out pretty quickly. Aang hits a tripwire with his foot. So a pit opens up with spikes, and he's able to save himself with his airbending.
Great airbending.
I gotta say though, like that's like a level 1 booby trap. They really kind of should
Yeah.
have been on the lookout for that. It's that. It's the big net that scoops you up.
Yeah.
And it's the hole with the leaves on top of it. Those are like your
Yeah.
base level booby traps.
Guess
you
who
really
gets
just
caught by?
gotta know.
Yeah. Guess who gets swept up by a net numerous times in the show? The Avatar.
Sokka? Oh well, sure, yeah.
Avatar.
Everybody.
Zuko does too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zuko
yeah.
wishes he had a net
I
and
wish
had
I
thought
had a
of the
net.
scoop up net to catch the Avatar.
But you did get out
I mean,
of it.
effective booby
Can we
trap.
do a special
but
shout out
but
to,
level 1,
to
agreed.
non-firebending Zuko running up and down the wall over the
Yeah.
trap?
That was cool.
Absolutely.
That was cool. That was a little parkour, yeah.
Parkour Zuko.
I'm always going to give it up for
Mhm.
parkour.
Come on.
Absolutely.
Parkour could be like the fifth element, kind of like
Yeah.
body bending. Maybe.
Love
I
it.
don't know.
Maybe I'm with it.
It have to be the sixth element because the fifth element is what's her face, Mila Jovovich in that movie.
Yeah,
Anyway,
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Credit where credit is due.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a little bit spooked by the booby trap, rightfully so. Aang kind of doesn't want to go forward. He's been trapped many times, as we've seen throughout the series.
Yes.
But Zuko says wisely that if there are booby traps, there is probably something worth protecting. So let's continue. And it's an important mission. I don't blame him. They kind of gotta do this, or else they might not be able to take on the Fire Lord. So yeah, they go up to the temples. So they go up. They find this massive carved mural. You've got your firebenders. You've got your flames. A couple of dragons, I think. Pretty much everything that you would expect in this sort of context. But it's cool. It's great. And then that brings up the dragons bring up the existence or previous existence of dragons, and they start talking about that a little bit. What happened to the dragons? Aang thinks Zuko's being a little sketchy. He's not telling him something. Aang clearly missed 100 years, so there's something that he doesn't know.
Yep.
And Zuko spills the tea. It's always goes back to Fire Lord Sozin, right?
My grandfather
He was busy.
He was
He's a
doing
bad guy.
some things.
Not the best guy. You know, the more I hear about this fella, the less I care for him. So yeah, we keep moving forward. Eventually, we come upon this big circular door with like some sort of red stone-looking thing at the top. And yeah, this is like where like it goes full Indiana Jones, like the
Yeah.
booby
Which I'm
traps
great
were
with.
definitely
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Spielberg, another Dante connection. But yeah, so they see this door. Aang like runs up to the door and is trying to like force it open by hand, which again, I think this is like, he should kind of know better at this point. There have been like a lot of doors that require some sort of bending to open.
Yes.
And like Aang just like tries to pull it. And
Yeah.
he should know better.
You
But
should skip past the pulling. I get it.
luckily we have Zuko who intuits that it's a calendar. And it's probably when the sun hits the center
Hey.
stone that it's going to open. But
Zuko knows some things, you guys.
Yeah.
Sokka
He
isn't
does.
the only one.
Agree.
You know, Sokka's
give him
usually doing
credit.
this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Zuko got a few.
No, he
And
absolutely
it does.
does.
It surprises Aang. It catches him
He
off guard.
knows some
Which
things.
Yeah.
He's
Again,
paid attention.
no one's arguing with
in
you.
school.
No one's arguing with you.
I don't know. Katara's a little harsh recently.
Well, she's not here.
She's not here. But
well, you got to prove yourself to Team
let's
Avatar
just-
here, right?
let's just
Like
say,
you're still.
Without
Yeah.
Sokka, we're doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That implies that you, aka Zuko, had the thought as he was doing this life hack that Zach is about to describe, that he was like, I wish Katara was here to see this.
And I wish Katara was this. I wish Sokka also
maybe she'd think I was cooler.
would be
if-
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Why isn't everyone here
Where's
to
all
see
the Water
this?
Tribe people?
I'm
when
smart.
where's the Water Tribe people at? They're
Yeah.
talking all this stuff. Where they at now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Watch this
Yeah.
Fire Nation stuff happening right now.
Yeah. So what's he
So
do?
yeah.
What's he
So he kind of like MacGyvers the whole thing and takes out his sword. He's able to reflect the sun onto the center stone, and voila, the door opens. Again, Aang is like kind of in shock that Zuko has this capability. He's
Shock?
been the bad guy to this point.
Shock?
Yeah, I'd say, because he gives him the backhanded compliment where he's like, "Oh, I don't care what anyone says about
Zuko's
you."
crafty. I know exactly. That's what he says.
Oh.
And when he's talking about anyone says about you, he's talking about Water Tribe friends of his.
He might be
Mhm.
talking
Well,
about
that's-
even more than
that's a
that,
circle.
but I don't want to make this worse. I don't want to make this worse.
You know, Zuko, I don't care what everyone else says about you. You're pretty smart.
Yeah, pretty bad way to start a compliment. Honestly, though, I don't, knowing Aang and knowing his nature, I don't think he meant it. I think he was trying to say something nice,
Right.
but it came off pretty bad.
Let me
which
tell you
happens.
something, Zach. As a person who was in the Legend of Korra,
Mhm.
I have had many extremely well-intentioned backhanded
man.
compliments that start out with, I don't care what everyone else says. I like
Yeah.
the Legend of Korra. So I have
What?
definitely heard that, and they are not people who are trying
That's
that I
not
can
nice.
tell to
I've heard that
throw
too.
shade, so
And I just want to say that I'm a Korra defender, so I'm on your side here,
buddy.
Janet.
I don't care what everyone else says. I appreciate you, Zach, for doing that. Just try it. Try it.
What are
try
they
it at
saying?
home. Don't try it on your friends. Just try it by yourself in a vacuum. You can do it into a mirror. Try to say anything nice to yourself, starting with I don't care what anyone else says about you. You will see how quickly that thing fizzles out. It will never.
Yeah, no,
you will
it's-
never feel good if it starts out. I don't
impossible.
care what everyone else says about you.
That's not good at all.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. So now we're inside the temple, right? We see some very cool, some very fierce statues that seem to be showing, and this is figured out by Zuko and Aang fairly quickly, they seem to be showing a series of moves called the Dancing Dragon. Kind of seems like if the guys follow these steps, then maybe it's going to activate some kind of new element. I mean, obviously it's going to be showing off some sweet moves, so that goes without saying. But maybe it will activate something to take them further into the temple, something like that. So they do these moves, and it works. The stones moving underneath their feet cause this pedestal to kind of rise out from the floor. There's this I guess what I'll just call like a mystical gemstone for now, like a
kinda.
mystical gemstone sitting on top
Golden
of it.
egg.
Golden egg?
Golden egg. Now, again, if you've seen Indiana Jones, you know this is another Indy 101.
Yeah.
Do not.
Seriously.
Do not.
The big
do
ball is
this.
gonna come
you
and roll
do
and get
not
you.
just take. You don't just grab a relic off of a pedestal. That's never
Unless
a good idea.
unless you have a
Unless
similarly
you can-
weighted and shaped
unless
object, then
you're
you got to do that.
ready
Oh, yeah,
with
you
the
need a
similarly
similarly
shaped
weighted-
and weighted thing.
Let
he
out
has
some
not
of
seen these
the
movies.
beach, little sand. Let it out, and then throw it on
Zuko
there.
has not seen these movies. He is
No,
like,
no.
cool.
They might
here
not
we
have been out
go.
then.
Yeah, they might not have been.
Before
Maybe not
I'm
in
not
this
sure.
universe.
I'm not sure where the canon falls with where the Indy movies fall in the Avatarverse. But so he has not seen these movies. He immediately takes it like it's no big deal. This absolutely triggers this other trap.
Aang's like, why would you take it?
And yeah, I mean,
He's like, I don't know. It's cool.
yeah.
We did the dance. It offered itself to us.
I'm the prince.
That's the prize. We won.
This is clearly for
when you do
me.
something and it offers it, you take it.
I know.
You
I
put
know.
the money in the gumball machine. It comes out. You don't leave
And then
it there.
and
grab
then
it.
you deal with the consequences. If the gumball tastes terrible, you
Well,
deal with
it
those
is what it is.
consequences.
It is what
In
it
this
is.
case, the trap is like it is a green slime. Okay,
What
it's
is
a
that
green
trap?
slime.
That's a crazy trap.
It's unclear, but it does shut them into the temple. It's like
super
if
adhesive. Super adhesive.
It's like if Nickelodeon slime went to the dark side.
Of
Do you know what I
course.
mean?
It's like
It is
Double
Dare
slime.
Yeah, it's like
It's
it
like
got
the Harry
evil.
Potter thing, you know. I think it's the
Yes.
first Harry Potter. This
Yeah.
episode has Harry Potter. It's got Indiana Jones.
I'm great with it. A lot of homage.
It's got Austin Powers because he lost his mojo.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot here, and I love it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm great with it. I'm great with evil Nickelodeon slime,
Evil
and it
Nickelodeon
is
slime,
everywhere.
Double Dare
it's
slime.
filling the room. I don't know
That's
how
a lot of
the
slime.
chemical response of this slime is fascinating. It's everywhere.
dense. It's very dense.
It actually pushes them up to the top
like
of this
tar.
underground temple. They're pushed into a grate. At least they can still breathe.
Right.
But that's kind of it. So, again, if I have to leave you with one thing from this episode, do not remove the shiny thing from the pedestal without a full plan for how you're going to replace it immediately. That's just from us, from our hearts
Bring
to
a
yours.
decoy.
Be careful.
Decoy. What do you even call it? Relic.
A decoy relic. I'm great with
Yeah.
that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So as the sun goes down, Aang and Zuko bicker and stare at the stars.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Some good, some bad.
Some good, some bad.
Yeah.
And that is until a man suddenly appears.
Yes.
And then we now see that Zuko and Aang are being licked by what turns out to be anteater sloths.
Yeah, or aardvark sloths, I
Aardvark-
think. You can say either,
Definitely.
maybe.
I think they're interchangeable. I
Yeah.
think.
I didn't know
No.
this. I want to say...
No, they're not.
I want to say aardvark and anteater being essentially the same thing, if not exactly the same thing, and just two different names
No,
for
they're
it.
not.
Came to me maybe like a year ago. I was like, wait, what?
No way.
Really? An aardvark
Wait to hear
is
about badgers.
An aardvark? Yeah. an aardvark is an
I'm
anteater.
shook, you guys. And
I know.
I mean, not that I've seen either one of them with my naked eye, so I don't
Yeah.
know if they really
I
exist
have.
either.
They do throw an anteater or two into a zoo, and so I've definitely seen
Aardvarks
Yeah,
too?
yeah, yeah.
Aardvark also?
Apparently. Apparently, that's what I was looking at the whole time. Yeah.
So these aardvark / anteater sloths are there with the tribe
Yeah.
of people. And y'all, it's the Sun Warriors.
Yeah.
You're like, Hannah's like,
It's huge.
What are you guys the Sun Warriors are in the house? They're still here. They're still around. And now they're it's cool until they start accusing Aang and Zuko of stealing their treasures.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
We're like,
Who, us?
us? The thing
Steal
about
what
it is
now?
like, yeah, I have your egg, but B, everyone thought you were dead.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what do you want? Like, you can't take me to court for this because like, I'm sorry, here's your egg. But I'm,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, right. They are obviously thieves, here to steal Sun Warrior treasures.
Please, I don't normally play this card, but I'm the Avatar. Just hear us out.
My name is Zuko, Crown Prince of the Fire Nation. Or at least I used to be. I know my people have distorted the ways of firebending to be fueled by anger and rage. But now I want to learn the true way. The original way. When we came here, I never imagined the Sun Warrior civilization was secretly alive. I am truly humbled to be in your presence. Please.
when you get busted doing something and you kind of feel righteous about it,
Yeah.
you're like, you know who I am?
Exactly.
This
is that.
I'm the crown prince of the Fire Nation of all.
I'm the
And
Avatar.
he's the Avatar, dang it.
Yeah.
We are noble people.
Yeah.
Don't come in here accusing us like ghosts that we're stealing stuff from dead people.
Low-key
we would
dangerous
never do
move
that.
though,
Yeah.
for them to reveal their identities like that. It could have gone the total
It is
opposite.
a dangerous move, but they
That's
are
true.
in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
You know,
They got to do it.
and they're
Valid.
talking to like
Yeah.
people that they thought didn't no longer existed.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it's all kind of crazy stuff. But then the Sun Warrior chief tells them that if they're going to learn to firebend, because that's what they do admit that's what they're here to do, to like learn from the masters, you need to go see Ran and Shaw. And it sounds like Ran and Shaw, whoever they are, they're not gonna like Zuko and Aang. And the only bad thing that could happen that if they're not deemed worthy, they will be destroyed on the spot.
Yeah. No big deal.
No big deal.
Zuko's getting a lot of threats on his life.
I know.
A lot of casual life threats have happened to Zuko in the last couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Katara's like, yeah, I'll just end you. And then this guy's like, yeah, Ran and Shaw will just end you guys if they don't like you.
He's at a
Totally cool.
He's in a weird
big deal.
transitional place in his life.
Yeah, he is. He is.
He's like, throw it at me.
It's true.
I don't care.
Yeah. At
Lowest
a certain
of the
point,
lows.
it's like when everything happens at once. At some point, you're like, you know what? I'm glad this is all
It's
happening at the same
laughable.
time because I just got to roll with it at this point.
It's laughable.
Yeah.
Are you the kind of person who loves to dress up for an event? But are you also the kind of person who constantly finds himself encased in slime? Then we have the incredibly niche product for you. Slime Away Fabric Cleaner from SW Enterprises gets rid of even the stubbornest slime. How does it work? Slime Away Fabric Cleaner's patented special ingredients mimic the saliva enzymes of aardvark sloths, dissolving that pesky slime away in no time, but without the awkwardness of having a large animal in your face. It's all the clean with none of the claws. Slime Away Fabric Cleaner, because you don't have time for slime.
So we come back and we see the chief explaining to us that they're going to need to take some of the first fire, is what they call it, to Ran and Shaw. And there he is in front of that fire. They explain that it was the original fire that the very first dragons gave to the humans. And they've worked tirelessly over the past 1,000+ years to keep it alive. It's pretty cool.
That
honestly.
in itself
First
is
fire.
awesome. That in it, the idea of that is awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the Sun Warriors.
Shout out to the
Sun
That's
Warriors.
pretty dope. So they both Aang and Zuko are going to need to carry their own little flame up to the top. They can't do it alone, one or the other. And you know, Aang is still learning how to firebend. He's obviously nervous. He hurt Katara when he was trying to do it, so he has all of this trepidation about trying it again. And you know, the chief warns him about it getting too big, where he could cause harm, destruction, or getting too small that it goes out. So this is tough. But the chief gives Aang his fire, and he realizes something about fire that the chief confirms.
It's like a little heartbeat.
Fire is life, not just destruction. You will take your flames up there. The Cave of the Masters is beneath that rock.
So they set off towards the cave, which is a pretty long way away. It looks like up a mountain, probably pretty difficult to climb without your hands. You gotta, keep your fire alive as you go. And Aang, you can see the difference between Aang's fire and Zuko's fire. Zuko's is noticeably larger. Aang is really trying to not get it so big. He's very afraid. But Zuko gives him some honestly genuine advice, a great compliment. It's one of the first times that we see a nice, encouraging side of Zuko. He's learning how to become a teacher.
He also calls him kid.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Kid.
Yeah.
But not in a patronizing
not
way.
in a patronizing way, but in this he's a kid. Well,
Yeah.
It was it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, and it makes Aang feel good. I think that's what gets him over the edge.
Right.
Yeah. So they get there. The flames are alive. And the chief and the tribe are all there somehow. I guess they took some sort of alternate route.
In the heck?
It feels mean-spirited.
They got all their
somehow.
drums.
It's go on this journey. We'll be there hanging out waiting for you. What is
They're
going on
there was
here?
an elevator. There was an elevator in the mountain.
You can't take the elevator. You got to go on the journey.
Go around
we
the back.
get to take the elevator.
We're gonna,
Yeah.
How? What? And all of them were there. Not just one. The whole cruise.
Everybody.
And they had time
even
to
that smart talking ones. He's here too, talking smack right now.
They set up their whole ritual. They had their drums. They had clearly rehearsed this. They were waiting. They were sleeping, waiting for them to get there.
Well, they don't get
It's
a lot
humbling.
of visitors.
It's humbling.
Because we
True.
set the tourist commerce of it.
That's
yet,
true.
so.
They know
Good
they've
point.
got
Now
this
that
down
the
pat.
someone's
They
here,
know.
they're like, oh, let's go.
Yeah.
We're so hyped to see some new people.
Yeah.
Good.
Finally.
You're
Finally.
right. You're right. You're absolutely right. But yeah, it is definitely oh, cool. Good. Guess you guys are all up here. Cool.
Awesome.
So the chief explains that the next part of their quest is going to be very dangerous, in part because Zuko's lineage is, again, sorry to say it, directly responsible for the annihilation of the dragons, and also because of the Avatar's absence for 100 years. So it's a little bit of it's not great. I mean, this isn't a moment to be proud of for either of them. They're so this might be hard for you. Your people destroyed all the dragons. You bailed out for 100 years. So they may not
We
think that's
proclaimed
cool.
ourselves as these guys oh yeah, you guys ain't nothing.
They're oh yeah, the problematic both of you. Oh, got it. Yeah.
Oops.
So Aang is just at this point kind of all right, and this makes sense because whenever he's reminded about how he was not around for 100 years, that's a real touchy subject for him. So he is maybe we should just quit. This is not safe. I wouldn't teach myself firebending if I, knew that I.
Yeah,
had
I'm good
bailed
with
out
just
for
3 elements.
100
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I think we're good.
That's fine.
But Zuko is all in. And at this point, I mean, I don't. At this point, it also kind of sounds like Zuko thinks he's going to be meeting like human beings, like human people. Foreshadow report for very, very soon. They might not be human. Anyway, so the tribe begins their chant, which you, I'm sure, recognize as the amazing closing credits that you have been hearing from the show leading up to this point. It's the amazing chanting and drumming.
Is?
It is. It is.
Bring him out.
Chanters!
I didn't
And
realize
so,
that.
yeah, it's awesome.
Iconic.
It's awesome. Very,
It is.
very iconic.
I love it. I
Very
didn't
iconic.
realize that, but that's
yeah,
amazing.
that's what you're hearing. So they head up the.
You can't skip the credits, Dante.
I
You
don't
can't skip the credits.
But they have the easy button on, to skip
That's
to
true.
the next episode.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem.
I do that
Yeah.
sometimes.
We all do. Don't worry about it. So they got the staircase leading up to this kind of narrow platform that's sort of suspended in the air, connecting these two caves, very high off the ground. And the tribe sounds the call to summon the masters. And in Aang's nervousness, just at the last minute, his fire goes out. And we already know this is a huge problem. This is
He's
not
messing
great.
around. It doesn't go out. He's messing around.
All right, look.
I have brothers.
He's nervous.
I
You
have
know what I mean?
brothers. I have a little brother. I have big brothers. I am a little brother. I have
Yeah.
a big brother. I know when brothers are doing tasks on the
Okay.
weekends for my dad or whatever, chores. People are fooling around and ain't really concentrating on what they're doing.
All right.
And like
look.
my guy is turning around trying to steal my flame?
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you were looking, you weren't paying attention.
I wasn't there.
And you let your flame go out. Then now you're looking at me like, give me some of your flame. I'm not going to give you my flame because you were supposed to carry your... I just saw you had your flame, dude. Like, why are you... At this point, we're about to go do some real stuff right now. You know what I'm saying?
Why are you yelling at me? Yell at him.
I mean,
He played Aang.
I'm yelling at Zach, too. I know what it is to have brothers, and that's a brother moment. And what
Definitely.
happens
Yeah.
is the younger one is screwing around usually.
And
And
it
loses their
ruins
flame.
it for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because then
Everyone gets screwed.
Zuko's fire
Now
goes
we're
out.
all
Yeah.
now we're
I
all
hear ya.
screwed.
I hear
I
ya.
love how
That's
he's
exactly
like,
what happened.
he's like, just go get some more from those guys down there. Yeah, let
Yeah.
me walk down these 500
Doesn't
steps
seem
and be
like
like,
To be
"Can
fair,
I, sir,
Zuko
can I
should
please have
give
some
you.
more?"
You gotta
Yeah.
give him the flame at that moment.
Yeah,
You gotta be like,
thank you.
whatever. We might get in trouble. Here's a
Thank
little
you.
flame.
Yes,
Here's a
thank
little
you.
flame.
This is
Yeah,
not the
for
time.
sure.
You got to work together. They're bickering instead. The fires go out, and of course,
Now I lost my fire.
in this moment,
Like that's exactly what happens every time. The one brother messes up, and then it screws it up for the other brother. Now we got no fire.
3 hours later, because if you are brothers. Okay, that's all. So this is not 3 hours later. Okay, so the giant dragons fly out of the caves. They are encircling Zuko and Aang. The chief's right-hand man.
Those dragons.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, dragons.
The chief's right-hand man is like, this is not, they're going to gobble him up. Like, they're
I
not,
hate
they're
that
not,
guy.
they think it's kind of funny. I don't know.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, he's just like very like, well, this is, say
When I
goodbye to
become
those
Fire
guys
Lord,
forever.
first one, that guy's going
Yeah.
to jail.
Oh, that's a great attitude. So
Political prisoner.
yeah. So that's what everybody kind of thinks is going to happen. But Aang is like, look, if all else fails, which all else did fail, maybe we do the dragon dance. Could we do the dragon dance?
Good idea.
You
I
know?
mean, that came out of nowhere.
Let's do it.
Zach, and good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, why not? Honestly, like at that point, they're like cowering in fear, like, and they don't have their flames.
well
they're
dance.
not
Little
gonna
brother
get
lost
any-
the flame for both of us, and then
dance.
out of nowhere, he pulls it out of nowhere like dragon dance
So
time.
angry. Yeah.
Don't underestimate the power of dance.
I know,
Okay?
and
That's,
you're like,
that's a
whatever.
takeaway.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you.
So they do it. They do an awesome job, honestly. After like one rehearsal, they
I'm
know
impressed.
it perfectly.
I also
They're
am
in sync.
impressed.
They're really onto something here. That's why I think you and I should honestly work on
Absolutely.
this.
It's
But,
got to happen.
So yeah, now judgment time. The dragons. It's time. It's time to make their decision. Big kind of moment. And they breathe this like amazing ring helix of colored fire,
Right.
Yes.
beautiful light,
Awesome.
and they're just like encircled by it, encapsulated by it, and the quote unquote camera moves around them. It's really just a great scene.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, I
it's-
got
it's-
emotional. Don't worry.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's the line. That's it. It finally makes sense, right? And Jeremy, as always, did a great job with the music here. The sights, the sounds were just
Epic.
incredible.
Gorgeous.
The animators just really make you feel like you're in that ring with them. If you're even better, if you happen to watch it,
because we were in that ring with them.
We were.
Yeah.
If you watch it in a dark room, and you like your room will light up those colors, and it's pretty cool.
I love that.
I was impacted. It's amazing.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So yeah, there's this whole thing, and Zuko understands. Unclear if Aang understands, but he's pretty smart. I think he gets it.
Yeah.
But we as the audience don't know anything until they go back down, and the chief shares with them that they've shared visions of the original fire bending with Aang and Zuko, which I needed that explaining. I don't know about you, but I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chief.
Agree.
I understood.
Agree.
Yeah. I understood.
I know you did.
But it still begs the question. We thought the dragons were extinct. We thought all this time that Iroh slayed the last dragon, but we find out something that for most of us is a tremendous relief.
I can't believe there are still living dragons. My uncle Iroh said he faced the last dragon and killed it.
So your uncle lied?
Actually, it wasn't a total lie. Iroh was the last outsider to face the Masters. They deemed him worthy and passed the secret on to him as well.
He saved the last dragon, and he hit him, and there wasn't one, there was two.
Yeah. Love it.
And they're red and blue.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it was
great.
very. It was like, whoa, it really hit you hard. Like, wow, this a lot. It was deep and heavy.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, one of the more like iconic just scenes I think of the entire series, just the two dragons, Aang and Zuko doing the end of the dance pose. It's something. It's something that you'll take with you on this Avatar journey.
Well said.
Yes.
Well said.
Amazing.
And yeah, so Zuko has the great line where it's like the sun, but inside of you, which he's like, whoa, dude. It's like
I love those
sun,
moments.
but inside you.
But so true. But so true.
And yeah, and here we are. This is another second episode in a row. There's a huge step in Zuko's journey. Before he realizes that he needs to join Team Avatar, and now he's like, wow, no longer is it my goal to destroy the Avatar, but I'm with him. I am on this journey to restore balance to the world, and that is where I will draw my firebending from.
Yes.
And
Pure place.
Yeah.
A pure place. Pure firebending.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, Zuko is like finally making those major strides to being good. And he's back, baby.
It's great.
And so is Aang.
Yeah.
The chief, they're done. They're leaving. The chief makes them swear not to tell anybody because they've managed to keep it a secret all these years. I love the chief, by the way. Great character.
Same.
Great.
Yeah. Great minor character. And they make it back to the rest of Team Avatar. They're a little embarrassed by the fact that they were kind of dancing that whole time. Like all said and done, they were dancing. But they get to show off their moves to the team. And of course, Sokka loves it. And that is the end of the episode.
You guys, we have talked so much that we are very short on time for our kind of things that we regularly do. But I feel like we can kind of get through it because with our Animal Crossing, it's really about the dragons. This is an episode about the dragons.
Not those
stole the show.
anteater aardvark sloths?
We saw them.
Yeah.
We love
Badger moles.
We love them. We
Badger
love them all.
mole.
Absolutely. Shout
The
out
dragons
to
stole
them
the
all.
show.
But
The dragons kind of steal the show.
dragons.
Yeah.
Two of them.
Wonderful.
Two of them.
Red and black.
Double trouble.
Correct.
I
and blue.
mean,
Yeah.
if the creators of, Game of Thrones didn't see this, you would have to convince me that they didn't see this because I'm watching like Game of Thrones watched this whole episode
Definitely.
10 times
Definitely.
maybe.
Game of Thrones.
It was
is
on
just
the
a
mood
person
board
now.
when they were writing
It was
Sure.
definitely on the mood board. No question
Yeah.
about it.
Khaleesi
Yeah.
said, "I understand." She did.
Wait a minute. I got to go back and watch it. Okay. So most valuable bending of the episode.
The dragons bending the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a very bending heavy episode.
No, but
is
it's
it?
Yeah.
the dragons
That
hitting them with
swirl
the
of
truth.
colorful
The truth.
fire that
Yeah.
completely changes Zuko's perspective about fire at all is hard to beat. So I would agree with you guys on that one.
Yep.
What about the most valuable non-bending moment?
I think
I'll tell you
so
what it
I think-
isn't. It's definitely not Aang and Zuko's fires going out right before
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
they see the dragon.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
might-
It could be Zuko's use of the sword to fool the stone
yeah, that's a
thingy.
good idea. That's very practical.
Yeah.
Probably true.
Yeah.
Or
I'd
you
say
could
that's
kind
the
of go a little more abstract with it and be like, it's the power of realization.
I love that.
Can it be that the chief, however, the chief and the crew got up on top of that hill before
We'll
never know.
True.
to give them the rest
We'll
of the
never know.
information? To give them the rest of the
They
information.
keep that secret
We
with
don't
them.
know. We don't
They'll
know.
never know. Fantastic. I think giving it up to the sort of spiritual transformation that the bending allows for is kind of a great 1-2 punch of the most valuable bending and non-bending. So we did it, you guys. Dante,
That was
great.
this was as much of a journey for you emotionally, just discussing this episode, as Zuko's journey
big one.
losing and then
It was a
regaining
big
his
one.
fire.
I mean, we're here with Zach. It's been, it's a bit of an amazing episode. It's great. I'm great. Zach, as adults, we get to share this episode with each other. But
I love it.
Ironically,
I understand now.
I do understand, but ironically, it's very much like the first time I'm in LA and you're in New York and we're over the interwebs.
Yeah, true. You know what? I think that this episode could have definitely benefited from you and I being in the booth together.
100%,
I will say that.
100%
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
I
maybe
mean,
one day. There's
one
always,
day, one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And until then, we're going to learn the dragon dance. That dancing dragon
Let's
is going
go.
to be a
We'll
part of
work
your
on it. We'll work
repertoire.
on it.
It's going to be a part of your repertoire.
Coming to
Yeah.
a post on some social media
Yep.
platform to you soon.
Yes.
Dante
Oh, man.
and Zach,
Please.
Dragon Dance.
Please.
Talk about viral potential.
Absolutely. Zach, thank you so much, as always, for
course.
joining us. Hope to see you
Thank you
and
for
be with you
having
in
me.
person for
Thank you.
for dragon dancing and cons and more and friendship.
And we'll see you soon.
Yeah, anything
Yes.
you want to leave people with? I know we sometimes skip the social media thing. Sometimes
No,
we
it's
do
okay.
it. But
Hey,
whatever.
I think probably since the last time that I've done the show with you guys, I've started going to cons and stuff, and it's been so
Yes.
fun and so
It's so
cool
fun.
and so special.
Everyone's trying to
so-
capture the avatar now. Everyone's
Yeah.
trying to capture the avatar now.
Yep.
Yeah, you were the first though, Dante,
That's
in,
right.
in the
I
show
got it.
and
You
in real
were?
life.
Yeah, I caught him.
It worked out.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, maybe catch me at your local con sometime soon. We'll see. But yeah, I can't wait to see the two of you again in person. And yeah,
Same.
we'll hit the casino with Dante and his
Oh my God.
super mind powers.
So
or
much to
whatever.
discuss. So much to discuss offline about this. Yeah. Until then, everybody, see you next time.
See you next time. Did you know you can hear bonus episodes of our award-winning podcast?
Subscribe to Avatar Braving the Elements Premium on Apple Podcasts for early access, exclusive content, and ad-free episodes.
I'm so excited!